it's Lindsay. Welcome back to The Wandering Reader. Today I'm going to be doing my December book haul. I'm filming this a little bit early in December, so it's the 22nd of December today, but I wanted to pre-film a couple of videos because I'm going away over the new year and I don't anticipate getting any more books before the end of December. Yeah, I pretty much shopped out for December. I think my husband would definitely agree with that. So I don't really want to buy anything more, and I don't think I'm going to receive any books for Christmas, which is a bit of a shocker actually, but there we go. So I have a few books to talk to you about, a few more than I had in November, definitely. So let's jump in. I have a few books that I bought in Waterstones on a couple of different trips. The first of those is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This won the Waterstones Book of the Year for 2018, and this is the Waterstones exclusive edition. So when I saw that it had won the Waterstones Book of the Year, I'm always really interested in the books that win for that. Yeah, just for obvious reasons. And I saw that they had this exclusive edition, so it's a naked hardback and it's got this lovely blue foiled edge to it. I know a number of people that have read this and really enjoyed it, and in fact Kerry Ann from Women vs Books recommended this to me on Goodreads and recently talked about this on her channel as I think, well, actually I think I heard her talk about it on Twitter as saying it was like one of her favourite books of the year. So I'm really looking forward to getting this. I had originally put it on hold at the library, and don't laugh, but I think when I originally put it on hold I was 92nd in the queue, and when I saw that I was like, I'm never going to get this book, 92nd in the queue. A couple of weeks later I logged back into my library account and I was down to 74th in the queue. They do have quite a few copies of this knocking around the county, but nonetheless it's in high demand. So when I saw this edition in Waterstones I thought I'm just going to get it, I'm going to read it, and I managed to get myself a nice bookmark to go with it too, and I'll see what I think of it. A book that I bought for my husband but that I also would quite like to read is Philip Reeves' Mortal Engines. He was talking about this series, I think because some of his students were talking about it at school. This is going to be made into a film pretty quickly, and I saw that they had, I think are these like new covers, I don't know, but they what does it say about when it's been published? Yeah, this edition published in 2018, so these are obviously new covers for the fact that the film's coming out. This is I think a sci-fi YA book, or a post-apocalyptic YA book. So I'd not really heard much of this series. I think I kind of knew it existed but never really had the inclination to read it. But when I saw it in Waterstones I thought, well, I get a copy for my husband because I think he would really enjoy reading something like this, and then I'll also put it on my TBR. I also picked up a copy of The History of Bees by Marja Lunde. I don't know how you pronounce that. It's got these lovely stripy sprayed edges. This is set in 3 different time periods, and it focuses, and it's a historical fiction book. So it says England 1851, William is a biologist and a seed merchant who sets out to build a new type of beehive, one that will give both him and his children honour and fame. United States 2007, George is a beekeeper and fights an uphill battle against modern farming but hopes that his son can be their salvation. And China 2098, Tao hand paints pollen onto the fruit trees now that the bees have long since disappeared. When Tao's young son is taken away by the authorities after a tragic accident and she's kept in the dark about his whereabouts and condition, she sets out on a gruelling journey to find out what happened to him. So it says it's a gripping and thought-provoking story that is just as much about powerful relationships between children and parents as it is about our very relationships to nature and humanity. So whenever people have talked about this on BookTube, I've always been really intrigued by it. So yeah, this was part of the like buy one get one half price deal. Couldn't resist it. I also bought, and you'll know why, The Librarian by Sally Vickers. Never read anything by Sally Vickers before, but was drawn to it by the title. This is set in 1958, so there's a main character called Sylvia who goes to work in one of the new post-war library schools. She takes up a job as a children's librarian in a rundown library in the market town of East Mole. Her mission is to fire the enthusiasm of the children of East Mole for reading, but her love affair with the local married GP and her befriending of his precocious daughter, her neighbour's son and her landlady's neglected grandchild ignite the prejudices of the town, threatening her job and the very existence of the library with dramatic consequences for them all. It's about books and I couldn't resist. This is a book that I've seen quite a few people talk about, and I saw it and I couldn't believe that I was seeing it. It is Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. This is a really thin book. I couldn't get over how thin it was. It's about a woman who works in a convenience store, and I think she leads quite an isolated life. Yeah, that's all I know about it. It says on the back, she found sanctuary in a supermarket, now she's about to lose it. I just was really intrigued by the cover. It doesn't really look like any other book cover that I've kind of seen before, and I've heard people say good things about it, and it's only just over 150 pages. So yeah. Also picked up a copy of Winter by Ali Smith. I was waiting for the paperback copy of this to come out because I've got the paperback copy of Autumn. I read Autumn last year, really enjoyed it as part of the Women's Prize shortlist. So I really wanted to pick up the second book in it's going to be a quartet, and it's all based around different things that are happening in Britain, like in modern Britain. So yeah, really looking forward to getting around to that. And the last book that I picked up in Waterstones was this really gorgeous edition of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. This is I don't know if it's an exclusive edition, it doesn't say it's exclusive edition, but it's a new edition of it. It's a naked hardback. Look at how pretty it is. Look at all that gold foiling. And this is also signed by the author. So there we go. So I saw that and it had to come home with me. I love this book so much. I've been meaning to reread it. I might not reread this particular book. In fact, I don't even have my own copy of it on my shelves. I lent it to my mum earlier on in the year and she still hasn't bought it back yet. So I was thinking of listening to it on audiobook, which I might do next year. But yeah, it's just so beautiful and I just had to buy it. And then I have a few books here that I picked up from a charity shop. The first of which is The Snow Child by Erwin Ivey. I had a copy of this. I've read this already. My sister bought me a lovely hardback edition of this when it first came out for either my birthday or for Christmas years ago now. When was this first published? First published in 2012. Wow, really? I thought it had been published earlier than that. Anyway, she bought me a lovely hardback edition of this for my birthday. She then lent it off of me when I'd read it and I haven't seen it since. So yeah, and my mum, I was hoping that it was going to be like in my mum's loft, and she cleared it out a few months ago because she was doing some things to her house, and brought me the last of my stuff that was up there. And yeah, I thought it was going to be up there and it wasn't, so I think I've lost that forever now, which is really a real big shame because it was such a pretty edition of it. But I found this paperback copy in a charity shop and it's in pretty good condition. There are a few cracks on the spine, but I really liked it. I'd really like to reread this, and I would really like my husband to read this as well. So yeah, I picked up a copy for my shelves. I also picked up a copy of The Silver Linings Playbook by Matthew Quick. This was turned into a movie a few years ago now, and yeah, I don't really know what it's about, but it says it's for fans of The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime or Little Miss Sunshine. It's a novel about love, life and American football and what happens when the woman you love isn't the woman of your dreams. I've heard people say really good things about this. I haven't read anything by Matthew Quick, so I saw this and grabbed it. I also found a pretty pristine copy of How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. One of Stefan's colleagues read this year and has been raving about it, so I really wanted to get him a copy of it. So when I saw it in absolutely perfect condition, I thought I had to buy a copy of it. So this says on the back, Tom Hazard has a dangerous secret. He may look like an ordinary 41-year-old history teacher, but he's been alive for centuries. From Elizabethan England to Jazz Age Paris, from New York to the South Seas, Tom has seen it all. As long as he keeps changing his identity, he can stay one step ahead of his past and stay alive. The only thing he must not do is fall in love. That sounds pretty interesting. I like the fact that it covers all of those different time periods. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of that. In fact, looking at the chapter headings, we probably will be able to. So it'd be interesting to see how he handles that. Yeah. Also found a really nice copy of Firefly Lane by Kristin Hannah. I think I have a copy of this on Kindle, but you know, it's always nice to have physical copies of books as well. I've been really enjoying Kristin Hannah's writing, so hopefully this will be the next book that I read of hers. I don't really know what it's about. Set in the turbulent summer of 1974, Kate Malarkey has accepted her place at the bottom of the social food chain at school. Then, to her amazement, the coolest girl in the world moves in across the street and wants to be her friend. Tully Hart seems to have it all: beauty, brains, ambition. On the surface they're as opposite as people can be, but they make a pact to be best friends forever. By summer's end they've become Tully and Kate, inseparable. And then it's about their friendship during the years, I think. Yeah. And then the last book that I picked up was one that I had been seeing Goodreads sent around their newsletter recently, and they had like staff picks of their top 3 books of 2018. This was on the list quite often. It's Less by Andrew Sean Greer, and I actually didn't realise that it won the Pulitzer Prize for Fiction this year. Yeah, so when I saw a copy of this, I thought, well, so many people liked it, I kind of have to read it. This is about somebody who's about to turn 50, who doesn't want to go to a wedding, and then, yeah, he begins to accept invitations on his desk to half-baked literary events around the world. Less is a novel about mishaps, misunderstandings and the depths of the human heart. It's quite short as well. So yeah, bought that. So there you go guys, they were all the books that I picked up in December. I'd love to have a chat with you in the comments below. What sort of books did you pick up? Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.